Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah Lipkowitz and I'm a real estate agent based in Montgomery County, Maryland. I specialize in homes and farms, and today I want to talk about 5 frequently asked seller questions. Okay, so the first question, is Zillow right in their price estimate for my home? Depends. Sometimes they get really close, but oftentimes that's because the property's been listed recently and they're pulling that last list price to factor it in. So they're okay at looking at things like square footage, things like that, but they're not so great at taking into account any updates or custom amenities, especially with properties with acreage. If you've got a farm, they're not probably going to be right again unless the property's been listed recently, in which case they're pulling that data as well. Your best bet is really to have an agent price it out for you because they're working in the market and they're able to take into account each of the individual pieces. So it depends. Sometimes Zillow gets it pretty close to being right. Sometimes they're pretty far off. So the next piece of that is, should we list high and then expect the price is going to come down when we get offers? And the answer to that is that's probably not the best plan, because pricing it right the first time is the best way to get the most traffic, the most offers, and hopefully then the best chance of getting bid up above your asking price. If you list it too high, you're very likely to cut your traffic down on the listing, and it's not the best way to get that price. The next question I get asked a lot is, when is the best time to list? And personally, I don't hold any bias towards one season or another. I think there are plenty of buyers looking in the spring and summer, and a lot of sellers want to list them because the foliage is out and they feel the property looks really pretty. But the reality is there are people looking in the fall and the winter too, who are changing jobs, who need to move and are motivated. And so I don't think it's impossible to get a good offer during the fall and winter months. However, you do want to be mindful of holidays. I don't think it's a good idea to list on or around any major holidays or, on a federal holiday, things like that. Traffic does tend to dip on those days, and it's really about getting the most traffic. You want the most people coming through the door, and so if you're ready mid-December, it's probably a good idea to wait 2 weeks and list the first or second week of January. Question number 3 is, how do we prepare what needs to get done? I love going in and seeing homes before the sellers are ready, because then I can look at the projects they've got going, things that are on their punch list, and kind of say, these are things that you need to get done, and these are things you could probably skip, save the money on. And the big things are maintenance, any kind of maintenance, repairs, replacements. Those are usually worth it. Buyers really hate deferred maintenance. And then just the biggest thing is usually decluttering and cleaning. As long as your furniture and your paint colors make sense and they match, it really doesn't make sense to paint everything gray. The big thing is just making sure the home is inviting, it's bright, turning on lights, opening up curtains, and it's navigable. People can get around, it's not over cluttered. And, honestly, just making sure it's well cared for is really, for most buyers, the most important thing. Question number 4 is, do I need to leave during showings? And if I have pets, should I take them with me? And the answer is, unfortunately, yes. It's really a good idea for you to leave the home during showings, just so buyers feel like they can spend time there. They don't have to rush. And if you have dogs, particularly dogs that are going to bark, it is a very good idea to either confine them to one space and let agents know where they're going to be so they can go in the showing instructions, or to take them out of the house entirely, because you never know if a buyer is going to be afraid. And again, you want the most traffic possible and you want people to linger. The more time a buyer spends in the home, the more likely it is that they will write an offer. I can usually tell with my buyers which home they like the best, even without them saying anything, because it's the one they spend the most time in. And if there's pets or people milling about and they feel like they can't just take an honest look at the property, odds are they're gonna pass. The next question I get asked a lot by sellers who are also purchasing a new home at the same time, and that is, how do we tie the transactions together? And that really depends on whether you have to sell in order to buy, or if there can be any kind of overlap. Are you buying a new home out of state? Are you selling a residential property that will move really quickly to buy a farm? That it really affects the timing of it. But in most circumstances, I like my sellers to have everything ready to go. So that means the house is all the way prepared. We could put it on the market tomorrow, All the photos have already been taken, all the marketing materials are up, we've created the website, we've created the book list, everything is ready. Because then when they find a new place, if they have to sell in order to buy and they have to make that new purchase contingent upon the sale of their home, we can then show the listing agent and the seller all of the marketing materials. If the listing agent is in state, I tend to invite them to come see my client's home and prove readiness, because, a home to sell contingency is a bit of a risk on the seller's part for your new purchase. And so to encourage them to take that risk with you, I like to prove readiness. So in any case, if you're buying and selling at the same time, it's really, really a good idea to have your home all the way ready, if not already on the market. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sarah Lipkowitz, and I'm a real estate agent based in Montgomery County, Maryland. I specialize in both residential and equestrian properties in Maryland and Virginia.